Hey, what is up? How are you guys? So I wanted to come on here and go live about I, I would say a period of my life, of my professional life, when I was so concerned with approval and acceptance, and I want to kind of speak to why and how that's kind of changed who I am, and how it actually changes a lot of people who pursue something entrepreneurial, who pursues opening a business. So I wanted to talk about that today, and also see if I could um, turn it into some type of discussion. Okay. So when I say acceptance, first and foremost, I understand that for years we've been conditioned to be accepted. Since we were born, we were we had to get accepted into kindergarten and first grade. We had to be accept every year. We have to be accepted into a new a new grade, and then we were told exactly what to do, and then we were um, we needed to get accepted to get that award. And we had, like, every year, like, we had to get accepted. We had to get accepted into college. We had to get accepted into that first job, right? The employer has to accept us. That's actually one of the reasons why that's one of the reasons why when you get on, like, let's say you get on social media and you say, "Hey, I started a business," you'll get like 5 likes, right? But if you get on there and you say, "Hey, I got the job," the reason everyone celebrates you is because we all were conditioned to be accepted. So when you get accepted and someone gives you permission to work for them, everyone subconsciously says, "Hey, that's a good thing," because we were conditioned to be like that, right? And so I want to talk about how I was when I was in my prior career. So I could literally I remember, like, wanting to impress people so damn bad. Like, I remember, like, getting to my desk. I remember getting to my desk and making enough noise so that my manager can hear me and know that I was there early. Like, I remember doing little shit, like walking through the hallways really fast, because, like, I felt like if people saw me walking fast, they would think that I'm diligent and I'm a great worker and I'm, like, intentional. I have somewhere to go. Um, I remember spending hours. I remember spending hours sitting, writing up, like, my performance review, like how I think I'm doing, so that someone else could read that and say, "Man, he's doing good work." So I had to literally sit here and fabricate and make things sound so bloated, so that I could get a raise, or I could get a promotion, or I could get seen as more. It was all acceptance. It was all acceptance. And I mean, what else did I used to do so much stuff. I would in inside of meetings, I would try to take on, a little bit more, because I felt that I needed someone to validate that I was, like, a great employee, and that I was more. Like, I always needed acceptance. And so the reason I bring this up is because, like now, being as a business owner, you don't you don't have that. I don't have that. No one's looking over my back to say, to accept me. No one. No one. To be quite honest with you, the business owner that feels as though they need that, they struggle with this entrepreneurial thing. They struggle with it. Like there are some people that they don't create an environment so that they don't need to be accepted, if that makes sense. So I say this because just in your career journey, like it's important. It's very important for you to like perceive this journey in a way so that you are like following a path that you want to take versus a sidewalk that's next to a road that someone just built and you're just walking on it. You know, like when someone says, hey, like you're making a path for yourself, you really have to make a damn path for yourself. Like, where do you want to go? Now, here's the thing, right? If you don't know where the hell you want to go, then you got to walk on a sidewalk. You got to walk next to the road that someone built for themselves. If they built a highway or if they built a road, you got to walk on that shit because you don't know where you're going. Now, at times, I think it's good to be on a road as long as it's taking you closer to where you want to go. I.e., let's say you want to like start an investment business, but you know that you need to be employed with a certain type of company. So you have to be there, but you know that that's on the path to get you to where you're going. Then that's okay. That's okay. But I'm seeing so many entrepreneurs, like I ask them simple questions like, all right, well, you know, what do you see next year looking like? Like, talk to me. Like, what do you see next year looking like? And they're like, I didn't even think that far. I'm like, you didn't think that far. Like, you didn't think that far. Like, it's next year. Like, you act like next year is not coming. Right? With me, I realized that how I view or perceive success, like how well I do is based off of how far I look out. Like if I'm able to, if I look out months or years, like I realize that things come better, things come easier, everything flows the farther I see. Like things move even faster the farther that I see. And I was talking to one of my clients a while ago, and I did a video on this. I think I mentioned this in a video, but I said, like think about you getting to success, right? Like how fast you go to success. How fast do you drive when there's heavy fog? Like how fast do you drive when all you can see is like 3 yards ahead of you? You don't drive very fast because you don't know what the hell's in front of you, right? So you drive slow, right? You drive careful. You drive cautious when there's a ton of fog. Now, let's say you take the fog away and you have clarity. You see what that road looks like. Now, how fast do you drive? You drive faster. So I say that because like many of us, we're choosing not to move the fog away or to clear the fog by sitting down and creating goals and setting deadlines and setting milestones and setting some type of framework together. And we're choosing to drive slow. We're choosing to no. We're choosing not to create the clarity and get rid of the fog. So we have to drive slow. Our pursuit to success has to be slow. Like I could talk to somebody today, and I probably will. It's 10:45. I'll talk to a few people today, and I'll tell them something simple like, hey, like, before the end of the day, like outline what you want out of your business, and they'll be like, oh, I don't have the time, or they'll say, oh, I don't really know how to do that. But what's funny is if I were to ask a question about, anything else, like, when there's a concert in a certain city, people can answer that shit like it's nothing. But when it comes to their own business and what they're building, they have trouble with it. So I say all of this because like who I'm becoming, I'm observing is very different than who I was. And a lot of it ties to my pursuit to not need to be accepted or to get approval. Like I don't need approval to take a day off. I don't need approval to generate more income. I don't need approval to talk to certain types of people. I don't need approval for anything. Like I have control, but with that comes a certain level of responsibility, right? I don't need acceptance. I don't need any of that. Like even and I was told this by one of my current clients. My client told me, they said, Mike, you want to know why I went with you? And I was like, why? Like, and this is for coaching. They were like, you're one of the only coaches that didn't seem like they needed me as a client. Like you didn't come off desperate. You didn't come off like, oh my gosh, like if I don't get this, I won't be able to pay my bills. Like you didn't come off like that. You came off extremely confident and extremely like you just had a posture as if like you know what you're doing. And so that's why I went with you. And so I say that because like confidence doesn't come from your belief. Confidence comes from action. Confidence comes from you doing shit. Confidence comes from you, like when you do something, that's when you get confidence. You don't get confidence because you believe to be confident. Like that's not confidence. Confidence comes from action. Confidence comes from trying. Confidence comes from trying. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're an aspiring entrepreneur and your relationship with acceptance and approval right now is still you're still married to it. You're still married to it. I would like to encourage you to try to figure out how you can somewhat break free of it, because that is normally your pursuit for approval and acceptance is typically is what keeps people like bound to employment or bound to a road that's not theirs. That's not theirs. You know, I again, like I think back to some of the stuff that I did and I'm just like I just can't believe I was doing that. I just can't believe that as a grown man, I was sitting here trying to get someone to like me and to accept me and to approve me, like as a grown ass man. I wanted somebody to look at me and say, man, he's a good guy. Man, he knows his stuff. Man, that's a good employee right there. I wanted people to see me that way. I wanted people to be like, oh my gosh, I fed off of that. Like, oh my gosh, oh, they, you know, I'm a part of this group. I got this award. Think about this, right? There's this thing called Maslow's pyramid of needs. Maslow's pyramid of needs, right? Let me pull up. I want to pull up this. I want to show this to you so that you can see what Maslow's pyramid of needs. Where is it at? Where you at, Maslow? Where's that image? Let me save this image and then open it. Give me 1 second. So this is Maslow's pyramid of needs, okay? So the reason I'm showing you this is because, you know, Maslow understood that there's 5 pillars to how we, like what we need in order, these are our needs, right? Our fundamental needs. The first fundamental need that we have, consciously and subconsciously, is physiological needs. That is, we need things around us so that we can breathe and we can, we're eating. We're not going hungry. We need shelter. We need sleep. We need clothing. We need reproduction. We need air, water, food. That's at the base level of Maslow's pyramid, right? We also need, above that, we need safety. We need personal security. We need to know that we're getting money from somewhere. We need resources. We need health. We need property. That's our safety needs. We need to make sure that no one's going to come and ski mask us, right? Like, it doesn't feel good It doesn't feel good to know that somebody could come and ski mask us at night. No, we need safety, right? We need love and belonging. We need friendship, intimacy, family, sense of connection. It doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter how introverted you are. It doesn't matter how introverted you are. Hold on. I see some comments. Rick, dig deep. Mike, senior pastor at New Church on the Rock. Sandra, I enjoy your videos. Thank you. I hope you get a lot out of it. So we need love and belonging. Again, it doesn't matter how introverted you are. You still need people around you. You need esteem. You need respect, self-esteem, status, recognition, strength, freedom, right? And then at the top of this pyramid, and mind you, from the base all the way to the top, there's levels to it, right? At the top of it, there's self-actualization. That is the desire to become the most that you can be. Now, think about this. When you're employed, think about this, right? Employment provides your physiological needs. Employment provides safety. Employment helps you with getting a place to live. Employment provides love and belonging, friendship, people around you, clubs, groups. Now, that's why COVID messed people up. COVID messed people up because it took away or it kind of stifled that part of the pyramid. Like you weren't able to go and sit with employees, like your friends, and go eat lunch with people. Like COVID messed that up. So employers had to get creative, right? Employers, why do you think employers give employee of the month, employee of the year, most improved, most dynamic, most talented? Why do you think they do that? Why do you think employers do this? Like they say, you're promoted because they need your esteem. They need to suffice that part of the pyramid. Now, this is the hardest part for employers. Now they try to do it, but it's one of those things where it's really dependent on who you're working with, right? So self-actualization is one of the areas that employers just can't figure that shit out. They can't figure that shit out. The desire to become the most you can be. Employers can tell you all they want. Yeah, you can be the most, like you can exercise. This is a learning environment. This is for your development. Do you want to be a part of this development program? Do you want to be a part of this leadership program? Do you want to be a part of this? Do you want to be a part of that? And they will try their hardest. They will try their hardest to make you feel like you're becoming your best self. But there's always this little bug. There's always this little bug in the back of most people's minds that thinks that there's something more. Now, there are organizations, I'll tell you this, there are organizations that you have to work for, right? And I mentioned this in one of my other videos. Like I don't job shame anymore. I used to job shame. What made me used to job shame is I used to be in these network marketing businesses. And network marketing, I like the framework of network marketing, but the issue is the reason why the majority of people fail in network marketing. It's not because of the model. People don't fail in network marketing because of the model. It's actually a pretty good model. They fail because for one, the majority of people are doing it because they want to escape something, not because they want to become something. Okay, I'm going to say that again. The majority of people that join network marketing businesses, they're trying to escape something. They're not trying to become something. When you join a network marketing business or when you join any business and you genuinely want to become an entrepreneur, you genuinely want to become a leader, they actually do well. Everybody else that's just like, oh, I have the potential to make $5,000 a month. I have the potential to make $20,000 a month. Oh my gosh, he's driving a Ferrari. I want a Ferrari. I want this. I want that. You know, those guys fail. Those people fail. I mean, I see it all the time. Most people in network marketing businesses, they fail. You know, and it's because they think like that. Now, And the other reason, and even when you look at the framework of network marketing, there's tiers to it, right? When you make it to a different tier, what happens? You get awarded. Like, it's all acceptance. It's all approval. So again, I say all this because, like, my point in this video is, like, I'm observing that as I'm changing and as some of my clients are changing and some of the people around me are changing, I'm noticing that the people that are relying less on acceptance and they're relying less on approval and they're relying less on, trying to fit into, they're trying to fit on someone's sidewalk. They're the ones that are finding a certain level of success that many others aren't. When you say that you're really going to pave your own way, you're not walking on someone else's sidewalk. And that's not me job shaming. It is just, it's a reality. Like, that's when you say, like, an example, if you're at your job, like, imagine being at a job and you are like, nah, fuck it. I want to go to lunch at 4. Fuck it. I want to go to lunch at 11. You once you get to a point where, and mind you, this is outside of some of these roles where you have to be there, right? But when you're so good at what you're doing and you have that level of confidence and you're like that, no, I don't need somebody to approve me to go to lunch. I'm good at what they do. They need me. When you get there, that's a level of just, that's a level that's fulfilling. That's when you get a certain level of fulfillment, when you know you're the shit and you don't need acceptance. You don't need approval. Like, you don't need that stuff. That's when you start to see different levels unlock in your career and in your personal life. So if you are employed right now, I mean, First of all, if you're employed right now, first of all, I want to tell you that employment and generating income are two different things. I don't think that people should combine the two. Like, I think that's where people get stuck. Like if you say, hey, I need to generate $4,000 a month, and you try to find a job to fit that, what happens is what you do day in, day out it's not aligned with who you're becoming anymore. It's only aligned with your survival. You don't grow through just surviving. You grow by stretching yourself. You grow by striving, not surviving. Like, no one grows by just surviving. Whatever role or whatever job you have, like how much ever you make, it doesn't matter how much you make, there's always someone doing the same thing making more. There's always someone impacting more. There's always some greater achievement to be made. I mean, if there's not, then what are you doing? If there's not, then what are you doing? like if I were to ask somebody, hey, like, what's next? If they're like, oh, well, there's not really anything next. It's like, what are you doing? Like you're like a turtle at that point. Like, you can't grow outside your shell. You just, that's you. You can't grow past that. And I would think that in today's age, we've seen, I mean, teenagers change the world. We've seen people in their 20s change the world. We've seen people young, old, non-educated, non-this, non-that, change the world. Dropouts change the world. And for anybody who's a parent, I wanna let you know that your kids are watching too. Your kids are watching. Okay? If don't look at your child. Don't look at your child and tell them that they can be whatever they want to be if you don't believe it. Because that shit, a lot of people do that. Like they'll tell their kids, oh, you could be whatever you want to be. But best believe the kids are looking back at the parents saying, well, are you sure? Now, if a child looks at you and says, oh yeah, my parents are becoming who they believe they want to be. Now that's a different dynamic when it comes to something being told. Like if somebody says, "Oh yeah, you can be an astronaut." There's so many people out here that's like, "Oh yeah, you can be an astronaut." In the back of their subconscious, they're like, "He can't be no astronaut. She can't be no astronaut." I mean, but and your actions is going to be witnessed by your kids, and they're gonna look at what you do. They're gonna follow. Monkey see, monkey do, right? Like they're gonna. It's not monkey say, monkey do. Like, they don't. No one cares what you say, and kids will listen. So again, if you're a parent, just know that if and there's I believe that there's also levels to what keeps you in certain parts of that pyramid of needs that I showed, right? There's certain things that keeps you in this. Okay, so an example would be like your safety needs, and your physiological needs, right? Like some of you, some of you, and I'm guilty of this. We want things now. So what we do is because we don't want that delayed gratification, we get things now and we put ourselves in debt. So we're now in the negative, and then we can't leave. We can't pursue anything. You can't leave that job. Like let's say you're an engineer. Let's say you're an engineer and you have 2 kids and you go buy that 6-bedroom house in Windermere. You're not leaving that job. And no matter how miserable you are, you need to go to work. You can't leave now because you made certain sequential choices that makes you somewhat slave to that condition that you're in. You can't leave no more. You can't go nowhere. You're in debt. And then, oh yeah, a house is an investment. A house is debt. Don't give me that shit. Like, no, there's no when you get a mortgage, you take your liquid capital, and you put that underneath the house. You take 30, 40 grand, you put that underneath the house. So now, like, that is money that is tied to a thing that someone's going to perceive as a value to it. You then, for the rest of it, you put yourself in 30 years, 15 to 30 years worth of debt. You don't have an asset yet. Okay? Like everybody, oh, you buy real estate, you have an asset. No, anybody that says that they don't understand money and wealth and all that. No, it's not an asset yet. You're in debt. Like, so even every year, like you have to pay the taxes, and then you have to pay, of course, there's interest on it. So if you really think about this. A house that is worth, let's say $300,000, right? Once you buy the house, of course, there's the taxes, there's the interest, and you're financing all of that, and then there's the insurance. Then there is the just the amount of principal that you have to put into the house. Your house, think about this: when you buy a house, the value of that house has to increase by the amount of interest that you were charged for the house. It has to increase more than the taxes. It has to increase more than what the insurance would have otherwise would have needed to be, and it also has to increase the depreciation of the house has to be more than what you would have otherwise made on the money that you put down on it. So if you would have put down 20 grand on a house, your house has to appreciate faster than what you would have otherwise made on that money. If you put 20 grand into some other investment that could yield 20% versus your house appreciating by 5, I'm sorry. You have to understand, like, it's not the same thing. Your house isn't an asset yet. So again, and going back to this whole approval and the whole approval discussion, many of us, and again, I'm going to put myself in the same bucket, many of us make choices where we have to stay in a position to be approved. We have to be accepted because we put ourselves in debt. We go to school. Some of us take our student loans. Some of us buy cars that we can't, we have to pay for the car for the next 5-6 years, right? Like, some of us many people are getting into leasing, right? Like you have to, you better go to that employer. You have to go, and they have to accept you every day. You have to be accepted. You got to be approved. I have to approve you to come in here. I have to approve you to come and work for me. I have to approve you so that you can make a paycheck, so you can live, because you took that Maslow's pyramid, and you're attacking it in a different sequence than what you probably should have. I mean, that's just life, man. That's the reality. But no, I'm sorry, that's not life. That's choices. That's decisions. So, if you're an entrepreneur, just strive. I'm gonna urge you, strive to put yourself in a position where acceptance isn't the thing. Like the awards isn't the thing. Someone telling you that you're good isn't the thing. It's just, hey, like you're doing what you need to in order to become more, and to create more, to produce more, and to ultimately, again, to be more. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. So if if you ever want to, just chop it up, definitely open to having deeper discussions on this. I love this discussion. My business is definitely changing. I've been doing a lot of like design and development and digital asset production. So building websites and marketing and running campaigns and creating, different things that can help business owners with having digital assets that can help them generate revenue. What I've noticed, and this isn't me knocking what I've done or what I do, but just because you have a pretty website does not mean that you're gonna make more money. And I've seen it. I've built websites, and I'm just like, yo, that is the shit. I look at some of my work sometimes, and I'm just like, damn, that looks really good. And then, but it becomes like this beautiful secret, So now what I'm doing is I'm producing programs, I'm producing trainings, I'm creating programs and courses to help entrepreneurs understand, one, why it's important to be knowledgeable and understand the practical side of growing your reach and your revenue, but at the same time, like connecting the dots between what needs to be made and why it even matters. My big gateway thing for years has been websites. Everybody says they need a website. Oh yeah, my cousin JoJo said I need a website. Yeah, you don't need a website. You don't need that shit. Oh, do you want to generate revenue? You don't need a website. The website's a storefront. There's some people that don't have anything to put in it, yet. So now, like, I'm working with people on what to put in it first. I'm working with people on structuring their business so that, like, the website and the assets, they're amplifiers. But it's not the business. Just because you have a website doesn't mean you're going to grow your business. It doesn't mean anything. Who's going to see it? Right? I've gotten myself in trouble. Where people are like, oh my gosh, Mike, my website doesn't have this information on it. My business is going to fail. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm looking at your analytics, and it says you have 5 people going to your website a month. You said you don't want to run ads. You don't want to engage on social media. You don't want to talk to people. You don't want to run an email marketing campaign. You don't want to create an affiliate program. You don't want to create a referral program. You don't want to form partnerships. You don't want to do anything. But just because your website's up, your business is going to fail? No. Your business already failed. So again, I want to encourage you guys, don't seek acceptance. Don't seek approval. Just focus on becoming more, so that people look at you and they say, man, like, I like that. I want to surround myself with that, So hit me up if you have any questions. I got to hop off here for a meeting. So definitely want to keep sharing. Oh, by the way, if you like any of my content, please subscribe to, not subscribe, but on Facebook, follow me. But at the same time, I'm going to upload this video to YouTube. So check out my YouTube page. You could actually go to MikeFelix.com/follow, MikeFelix.com/follow, and it'll provide you with all of my links to to all of my social media handles, where I'm just always uploading videos and content and different things to help entrepreneurs with their journey. Actually, not just entrepreneurs, it's also professionals too. You know, like we're all, to be honest with you, we all can be entrepreneurial. It's not about being full time in your business. It's about, are you exercising what you need to create? Are you creating? You know, are you producing? Yeah, so hit me up if you wanna chop it up. If you have an interest in some of the workshops that I'm doing, let me know as well. Shoot me an email in the DM. I'll add you to my distribution and let you know about some of the workshops I'm having. This upcoming this week, I'm gonna be sending out the link to my holiday campaign. I'm calling it preparedness, but I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna change it. It's essentially getting prepared for the holiday season. As a business owner, there's so many people that think so many things that people are doing just wrong. Black Friday, Thanksgiving, Cyber Monday, Giving Tuesday, Christmas, and New Year's. There's so many business owners that are just doing it wrong, and so I definitely I'm providing some resources to help them with establishing a framework around their campaign. So if you have an interest in it, let me know. Check shoot me your email address and I'll get that right over to you. All right, take care.